Let's take a look at how we can use a TI84 graphing calculator to calculate the mean and standard deviation of a discrete random variable. A random variable takes on a different numerical value as the result of a probability experiment. And so if I have a variable x, if it's discrete, perhaps the values would be like 0, 1, 2, and 3. I have these separate values that can result from the experiment. And the probability of 0 is 0.17, 1 is 0.26, the probability that we get a 2 at the end of the experiment is 0.45, and 3 has a probability of 0.12. So these are all the possible outcomes. You can see that because the probability values add up to 1. To calculate the mean and standard deviation, one way to do that on the graphing calculator is to enter the values in the edit menu. So if I go to stat and then edit, I can enter the values of the variable in list 1 and the probability values in list 2. And then if I press the stat key again and choose the calc tab and choose the option 1 variable stats, it will calculate things like the mean and the standard deviation and some other statistics related to the distribution. Notice that what we have here is list 1 has our values, and list 2 is the frequency of the values. So the calculator kind of identified that as representing frequencies, again, because it can see what they are and knows that it suggests a probability distribution. So if I hit enter a few times to confirm list 1 and list 2 as the values where the data are, the lists where the data are, and then I can choose enter again to calculate, and I can quickly see the mean x bar is 1.52, and we're going to think of this as a population standard deviation. The standard deviation is 0.91. For some calculators you might not have the stat wizard, so under mode, let me take a look at this. For a moment, under mode we can see that there's a stat wizard that's turned on, and so that's going to look slightly different if you don't have a stat wizard or if your stat wizard is turned off. So doing the same command without the stat wizard, if I go to stat and then choose calc, the command is now going to come up like this, and I'll need to identify list 1. So if I hit second and list 1, I need to identify list 1 as where the data values are, and list 2, after a comma, the comma is above 7, I want to identify list 2 as the place where the frequency list is. So list 1 and list 2 are above the numbers 1 and 2. And now if I hit enter, I'll see that same data. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.